No introduction really necessary. Get the message like a secretary.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Now, Barney! Gone!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey, got three down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now it's Tate. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Trey Hendrickson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Room to run inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. Riddick with a carry. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for a Lions first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, but he's got it.
Here's Riddick. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. from the gun. Here's Stafford. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. No. Check. Patriot.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now back to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. After the interception, here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Here's Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Kamara. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They're going to look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back to throw now on 1st down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop. They'll set up to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Looking to throw. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Devon Kennard coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. This has neither the distance nor the accuracy. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. Now Riddick. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
22!
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And this is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll bring up second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Stafford. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Ooh, with a juke. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He's going to go for a big play down. That's caught inside the 20. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Back to throw here. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. On the ground, it's Riddick. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, Stafford here. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Trey Hendrickson. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And Tate's got it. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, good move. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. He completes it to Tate. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Stafford on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Stafford now on second down. Wilson snags it left side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. On second and 10, Stafford. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. On first and 10, Stafford. And this one complete to Levine Toilolo. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Stafford now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's first and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Throwing is Stafford. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. Now Matt Prater for the point after. Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Again, it's Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Stafford now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. Fights through at the 5. Oh, able to avoid him. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He may try and run for this. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 36. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Stafford now to throw. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Looking to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big gain of 38 there on third down. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. You were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Detroit getting set to go now. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. Stafford. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called, not so much just to, to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
Give him 9 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll look to throw here. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, right at the 15-yard line here. So here come the Lions now. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
All right, boys, here we go. Light.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They run it again with Kamara. Shrugs him off. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. That's caught by Smith. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And coughed it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know one thing. The team that had the ball and was driving, they're going to feel horrible. But the team that was on defense, I think we got to give them a little bit of credit, able to hang in there and force a key turnover.
In the red zone, though, had a chance to tie it and an opportunity missed. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints move back within a couple of the lead. Back to throw. And he's going to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful. And we've got ourselves a tie football game. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now Stafford. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
It's Stafford. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got this down to the 35. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stafford to the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And on the ground they go with the running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So here's the veteran kicker, Matt Prater. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So here's the veteran kicker, Matt Prater. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Lions are going to win this game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.